Stuff from the cuffs, stuff from the cuffs. If you had a bad day and you're looking for a smile, bringing hope and joy for a day that was wild. Stuff from the cuffs is here to make things bright. In the world so dark, they're bringing some light. Stuff from the cuffs. Stuff from the cuffs, stuff from the cuffs, stuff from the cuffs, stuff from the cuffs. Go Bria, go Ben, go Bess, go Brian. Stuff from the cuffs, stuff from the cuffs.
Welcome everybody, welcome back to Stuff from the Cuffs, where we give you fire, we give you fun, we're inspirational, we're real, and we're educational. Welcome to Live in Lockdown. This is night 6.
Yeah,
wow.
It's our penultimate night of Live in Lockdown. All being well, Sunday coming will be the last one.
For Live in Lockdown, but don't worry, we'll still be here. But we've been enjoying this series so much with you, keeping your company during the lockdown here in Jamaica. And for those of you who are overseas who have tuned in, thank you so very much.
Somebody
I know
was watching last night
from
too,
UK.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw it. Thank you guys so very much. We appreciate you. We love you. We love you. We love you.
You guys hearing us? Yeah?
Yes.
If you're hearing us, let us know. Tenants in the building! What that? Tenants in the building!
Right, I was just about to say what happened a while ago.
That dance was called the Cufflinks dance. It's a
No,
mixture of every single dance
don't
that
mix me.
exists, right?
Don't.
It's an all-in-one. You know, people in certain countries,
No.
they dance like that, upper body and all of that. So I'm just mixing it up, you know?
Don't mix me. I don't dance like that. Basilia can dance. Bubbles can dance. Brian and Bronte still trying to find a rhythm, but it's okay. It's okay, babe. I love you just the way you are. Yes. Guys, how you doing? As you come in the live, make sure that you like the live.
So that everybody else will know. We're not asking you to like the live because we just want you to like the live. But liking the live helps with the algorithm and it gets more people to know that we're on. And they're going to come and join us. And of course, they don't know, we keep it real. And we bring the fire. We're fun.
I'm saying it already, but come again.
Oh, I was
he was dancing.
Oh, wow.
It's okay. Come again. We're fun, inspirational,
we're real,
and we're educational.
Yeah, all right.
We love you guys. We love you.
So, Guyana in the building. Let's do the roll call. Yes. Michelle Chambers again from Georgia. Thank you for all the support. Find Findlay 5. Go check them out on YouTube. Basic IT and EDPM with Kerry and Reed Simpson. Go check her out on YouTube. Shania James. Here is 411 is the person from Guyana.
Hi.
That was where Bishop Marshall was from, Guyana. Yeah. Happy to have our Caribbean neighbors here. Alicia K. Francis, Nadisha Parks, Charlene Smith, rent paid in full. Hey, Professor Brian and Dr. Bass, says Carisha Radish. Heather Jojo loud and clear. Amanda James, coloring is back in the building. Leighton Boogie, Lydia Senior Ward, Evolution, Tony and Banton. Stephanie Perrin, welcome, cuz Shade Givens, Selena Herridge, and Jules Bless, Winsley Campbell, Shakira Taylor, Sashika Sterling, not Shasika, Samantha Small, Cray S, just found out how to access the live, and yes, it's my first.
Welcome.
First live ever for any channel ever. Wow.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We're honored.
We are. You have to follow me.
We're honored. Thank you so very much. Welcome.
Guys, it's follow Flashing Monkey, don't?
No, it's not follow Flashing.
Stacey and Miller.
It's follow Fashion Monkey.
Frederick Christian, Michelle and Smelly. Good night, guys. Blessings and abundance to you and the family. And XOXO Lisa. Big ups. Katoria Clark. Yep, I think that's about everybody. Jennifer Gunter, no. And Sashika Reed and Katoria Clark. Welcome.
Somebody, that's Brian, right? But my Manchester United family.
You know we can block you, right? We can block you and remove you and report you, right? No Manchester United around here. Chelsea, Barcelona, PSG, Jamaica, keep it real. Yeah.
Listen.
Bayern Munich.
Them say, oh, Monique say, how we come out, what will come out in the black and white tonight? What happened to the colors? We just pick something up, actually.
We're doing some shade tonight. We're not throwing any shade now, but we're doing some shade tonight.
Some shades of grey and black and white.
The 50 shades, 2 shades, right?
50 shades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
All right.
Right. So.
Yeah, we wanted
tonight,
to answer some questions.
Yes, we want to answer some questions that we were getting last night that we were not able to quite get to. And I think we'll start off with the question that we got.
I screenshotted some of them.
Okay.
Guys, do you know that the past tense of screenshotted?
Yes.
You're right.
Of course. I screenshotted it and sent it in.
You're right.
I think I want us to start. Hi from Turks and Caicos. Hi, Simone Deans. Guys, if you see me looking down, I'm looking down on my phone screen because I can't actually, the computer screen is too far for me to see. You know, I wear glasses.
Miss Guyana, Miss Turks, we can fly on plane here. We are expanding our borders. just saying. All right, so let's. I'm gonna go through some of the questions that we have from yesterday.
Okay.
And we're gonna see how best we can answer them. All right. Feel free to drop some questions. First time, 69 people watching and 69 people like the video.
Woo! We love you guys. We love you guys. We love you. Thank you.
All right. So the first question I saw says.
So what we're doing, for those of you who did not catch last night's live, we're going back through last night's live. Well, we went through it. Brian went through it and looked at some of the questions that were
from
asked.
The live chat.
Yes, from the live chat, because yesterday we had a very exciting and colorful topic talking about our honeymoon nights as being 2 virgins. And so if you did not yet watch that live, go back and watch it. It's on the channel. I am sure that you will be educated. Yeah.
All right.
So Brian went through, and here are some of the questions.
Cayman Islands in the building. Happy you guys were spared from Hurricane Ida. Like, it would have been crazy, right?
Yeah.
All right. So the first question came from Hillary Joseph. We don't know if you're here tonight, Hillary Joseph. And Hillary says, see, follow fashion monkey.
You said flashing.
Follow fashion monkey.
No, yes, so that is it. You said flashing.
Whatever. Follow flashing. Yeah, follow flashing monkey.
It's not flashing, it's fashion.
Follow flashing monkey.
Anyway, all right. You don't have to call the names. Just
the real thing is follow fashion monkey.
So it would be
follow
fashion.
In the fashion of whatever. So
right.
It's fashion.
It wouldn't.
What
anyway.
gave the two of you the power to overcome those feelings before the wedding? So, as virgins, before we getting married, what gave us the power to overcome the feelings to color?
Who overcame it?
So what did we do? Or what did you do?
Right. When you say overcome it, I don't know if it's something we overcame. It's just something we had under subjection. The flesh under subjection. And we did what was necessary to keep ourselves accountable to each other. We have said this in previous videos. During our dating years, especially when it got closer to the time, we dated for 4 years. And when it got closer, especially to the time of us almost to be engaged and that kind of thing, we always had a third wheel with us when we're going out, most of the times. And that was in the form of my little brother. And persons may have seen and probably be like, then everywhere them go, them have to have him. Or, it's not so romantic when he is there. But trust me, he helped to keep us accountable. So we did what was necessary, and we were very deliberate about where we went together alone. And if it is that we thought for a moment that, we may get ourselves in trouble, we had Brent there to help to keep us accountable. So we were very practical because, guys, this flesh...
Straight up. But give you the nice proper... Yo, listen, let me call Brunty. You know it's hard to keep no flesh under subjection. Yeah, you see how she look good when she sit outside and make me feel the fire her blaze. So when it a blaze and the wind me look on her and she amazed and me a stare in her daze, me just have to go my own ways. Yeah, I have to take away myself.
Literally.
Or I have to call for help. Or straight up, me just say no, me not going to do this. Guys, we're human beings.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
It
It
was
wasn't
really
an easy
hard.
task. First and foremost, we are happy that we got married as virgins.
Mm-hmm.
We are not bashing anybody else. We're not holding it above anybody's head. We're not saying that we are better than. No. It was a decision we both made, as Christians and as individuals, separate and apart from our Christian conviction. We wanted to save it for the person, and we did it, and we're happy we were able to do that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't an easy road, but we made it, and we're just encouraging others that you can make it too. Big up, I see USA in the building. I saw Andrew from cool place over there, so all the way over there, so Andrew, big ups, bro.
Yeah, so we were very deliberate about what we did, what we didn't do, where we went, how much time we spent together, especially how much time we spent together. We were very deliberate about the things we did. So that's one of the approaches that we took that helped to keep us under control. So it's not a matter of overcoming it, because the only time I overcame it was when I actually got to color. I still never overcome it.
You hear me say it did hard? It did hard. Pun intended. Show about Brunty. All right. Amanda, he said don't call the name. So asking for a friend, is it always painful for women when coloring? And somebody else also said, is there always a level of pain in the experience? That goes for you.
Well, as I answered that one last night, but I'll just reiterate that how our body is made up, especially if you have not colored before, then based on you and the moment and everything that's at play, it may be painful. For every woman that I have spoken to, they have said there was some level of pain in the initial stages until they got used to it and that kind of thing.
Right.
There's some level of pain.
We've been married.
And discomfort, yeah.
We've been married for how much years now? 8?
7 going on 8. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are you climbing the mountain as often? No. So for those who didn't join, we used coloring and we used hiking. So that is what we're continuing the trend with. So having 2 kids, maturing in a marriage, not being so young and vibrant again, not running this thing down.
I don't care in this world.
Yeah.
And being on the people's balcony.
Climbing the mountain as often? No. I guess somebody's asking about the drive that we have.
I think for us, all right, so no, we're not climbing the mountain as much as we were obviously in the beginning. Because in the beginning,
listen.
Making up for all the years.
We didn't really get to explore the hotel that we spent a lot of money to go to for those 3 nights.
Guys.
Because we didn't really leave the room.
Guys.
The room, the balcony,
Little
the shower.
Hungry kill
we just went, consumed, came back, ate, slept, and repeat.
And colored.
Yeah, so
we literally were catching up.
And that's why we can advise you that it doesn't end, and it will end you. Because when you're young and you're trying to catch up, there's no truth in catching up. Yeah, enjoy each day, take it day by day, take it moment by moment. We're at a stage now where we measure it depending on how we're feeling physically, depending on our workload, depending on our schedules.
What we're doing.
Yeah, but we still really madly love each other. And of course, when we do get to coloring, we color.
We color outside the lines.
All right.
So, hold on.
I didn't even know what that means.
So up and down and sideways, everywhere, right?
Okay.
So let's move from that question to the question that speaks to how does coloring change after children come into the picture? Because I think that's when coloring changed for us.
No, coloring changed for us when we lived apart, which was another question as well. So yeah, but you can answer that one first.
Okay, so after kids. So for me, physically, I was always tired.
Hold on. Abigail says, by the time we reach home from the honeymoon, and half the coloring book.
It don't. I start a new book.
We're going a new book.
So, I understand, SB. I understand. Trust me, I do. So after we lived apart for the 3 years due to work, and you can go back and watch that video, and then children came into picture and we lived back together. Coloring for us, the dynamics of it changed. Usually, before we started having children, we were able to just be like, we reach home, yes, start color. Before
Anywhere,
we go to work,
anytime.
color. Yeah, we over our friend house, hide our color. We at the balcony, color.
Babe, there's a limit. There's a limit. To our
I am
friends,
just
there's a limit. To our friends who are watching,
Yeah, but we're married.
to our friends who are watching, who've ever invited us over to your houses.
We've colored
don't,
there.
Don't listen to her. Don't
We've
listen to
colored
her.
there quietly.
Guys, don't listen to her. Right? That's rude.
We've colored
some
there
people are repulsed
quietly.
by that.
It's for their business.
Guys, please, if you've not yet invited us over to your house, you can invite us over with no worries that that's gonna happen. Don't listen to her, alright? Continue.
We can color. We won't make a mess.
Continue.
I'm just saying.
Continue.
Anyways, right, and we just color anywhere, anytime, any amount of times, all day, every day, 5 times on Sundays. Not, but yeah. But no, because the children are in the picture, the whole dynamics have changed. How has it changed? We have to plan. Sometimes
everything. No, sound like no. There's a limit.
We have to plan sometimes for the coloring sessions. So the art classes sometimes have to be planned because obviously the children are in the picture. They require our time. They require our attention. We're busy with them with school. We have to feed. We have to change. The whole works. And so the dynamics have changed.
Jody, you can't type that in the chat, Jody. Stop it. We're gonna block. We're gonna lock off the comments. Right?
The dynamics have changed in terms of our spontaneity. Yes. That's one of the ways the dynamics have changed.
So it's less. It's not as frequent. It's not as in terms of duration because sometimes you have to
hurry
run
up
it before the kids come in and all that. So it's a lot more spontaneous.
Yeah. Lot less.
It's a lot more spontaneous now in terms of
having
to try and use whatever.
Yeah, like they're
it's
watching
a routine,
TV, right? Yeah, like they're watching TV and we hurry up and go color a little bit and you hear Bella coming or Bria coming or something.
Do you guys ever color before going to church and have your kids ever caught you coloring?
Color before going to church? Of course, you have to worship before you're going to the house of the Lord. Amen. Hallelujah.
You see, growing up, especially how we grew up as Christians, you would hear that coloring is wrong, and you'd have that wrong approach that you should not do it before church. It's ungodly, it's secular, it's whatever. But we've learned that as long as God is in it, it's fine. So we don't have that view anymore. So we are okay with that mindset. Have they ever caught you coloring? No. We've been very careful.
Very
with that
careful.
One. Very careful.
Especially Brian.
If I hear a pin drop,
him done.
No coloring.
No. Because that's something that, especially because we have 2 girls.
And especially because our girls are so intelligent.
Yes.
I can't manage. Guys, go look on my Facebook page, Conversations with Bree. Yeah, I don't want her to ask me no question about that.
Listen, and the questions are coming already about the male anatomy and why daddy is covering and not showing off himself like mommy. So we have been very careful where that was concerned. Even when they were babies, we still were very conscious, even with them in the crib. So we would go in a different room to color. We wouldn't do it in the same room where they are, simply because we were just very conscious of that. So no, they've never caught us.
Somebody asked if you used physical contraception, and I think that we answered that.
No.
About trying to ensure that we take it as real as possible.
Oh no, I did the pill. Yeah, I did the pill.
All right. Next question is, how was coloring affected when you guys lived in 2 different parishes? All right, let me speak from my perspective first. Now, as a man living in a different parish from your wife, whenever you would encounter her again, whenever you would link up or have, whatever, you would try to make up. Yeah. So it was less romantic, and it was mostly physical. Yeah. It was about getting a release. It was about getting, coloring. It was just about coloring, and it wasn't as much a spiritual, emotional bond,
It's kind of like just a slam bam.
Yeah, it
Trying
did
to
change.
just-
The intimacy wasn't there as
Yeah.
much, especially because of some of the other things we may have mentioned. You go back and watch some of the things that we went through living apart, the mental strain of being apart, raising families up separate, and all of that. So it wasn't as romantic, and it took a toll on us as well.
Yeah, I lost a lot of interest in coloring because as women, the excitement for coloring has a lot to do with our emotions and it's tied to our emotions. So because I was not emotionally well, I was not interested in coloring. I would color just for coloring's sake because I knew that, he's my husband and I don't want him to get frustrated and whatever. But all of that changed simply because of everything that was happening during that period. But after we came back together, thank God. And I said this in a previous video that, in all things we give God thanks. Because with the lockdown, the pandemic and everything, I felt like, we colored and made up for those 3 years.
Right, definitely people then. Shamoy, you said it's still around, Brian. I'm not sure what you're referring to, so please let me know. Amanda says, what would you do if they caught you? We don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, guys, we color.
Britina B should marry the couples the color to make up for heated arguments. So why is Murderlinks on here? Why is Murderlinks on here? Murderlinks shouldn't be on here. Guys, that's my brother. I don't want him to be on here when I'm talking about coloring, right? So the question is, should they use... Alright, so I again, we've expressed interest in counseling and sharing and being a part of a couple's ministry. And one of the tips that I've heard when I was younger is that in the middle of an argument, while you are in an argument, and it's twofold because some people may find it trivial and petty, but I think it can break the ice. In the heated argument, if one person starts removing a piece of clothing, yep, so while the argument is going on, you're taking off, you're pulling down, you're taking off, it breaks the ice, it maybe makes the argument null and void. You no longer want to argue because you're now getting interested in something else. You may put the argument to rest quicker because you want to color. So it can be a part of the whole process. It
depends on the person.
Right, I agree. And it depends on the person. And it also, click the XSB and then you'll see the like and then you can come back to the live chat.
Yeah. It depends on the individuals because for me personally, for me, when me argue, me argue. When me upset, me just upset. I don't think I think about anything else during that moment. We get over it and we can go color. But in the moment, like for me personally, I want to deal with things before we color because I may not be fully in the moment because I'm still thinking about what I'm upset about. So I think it depends. I don't think there is one way to do anything in marriage. And so I think it depends on the individuals, how they process things. For me, I want to get it out before I color because I don't want that color. Right? I want to be, my usual coloring, right?
And then some people right after you settle the issue.
Right. But it depends on you if that works for you.
For some people,
right. So if that works for you, then it's fine.
Alright, so Shamoy says she disagrees that it is right to color before you go to church. And we can agree to disagree, Shamoy.
Why?
I don't have
Tell
any biblical
why.
Right. I can't find any biblical reason for a married couple that respects God and loves God to have an issue with coloring before church. All right.
And to make a general statement to say it's still wrong. Okay.
All right.
But you can let us know your reasoning, but we still stick by the fact that, we're married. This was instituted by God. It doesn't matter what day we go to church. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We don't see anything wrong with coloring before going to church. But we respect your stance and we hold on to ours.
Jamila says if you only spoke about coloring during your engagement period, when did we start talking about coloring as a married couple, an unmarried Christian couple?
I think when we knew that this was it, and we knew that we were going to be together for life. Yeah,
And
It was closer to the engagement.
it's
though.
important to not to start. All right, let me backtrack. So a lot of times we bash the older couples for not talking to us as much, and we sometimes criticize the church for not doing it. But the truth is, the more you feed your mind with a particular topic, is the more you're going to want to do it. Curiosity kills the cat. And even though we advocate certain things, it's important to not have too much of a certain conversation at certain critical moments,
Yeah.
because it's going to spark a fire that you do not want to quench yet if you're waiting until
Yes.
marriage. So it's important to set parameters. Yeah, you may discuss the general things.
Yeah.
You know, do you want this after you're married?
Mm-hmm.
How many times do you want it, etc. But when you start talking about the nitty gritty
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
actively
details of
talking about
coloring
the details,
and how much
yeah.
you're going to color and how your coloring is going to look, and you start painting a picture, it may
Yeah.
cause the couple to, when they go to their individual houses, to struggle more and to get
Mhm.
involved in watching certain things and corrupting your mind. So you have to measure it, right?
Yeah.
Lenny said I was about. Yeah,
Don't even read his comments.
yeah, Andrew. Yeah, man, Andrew. We sit down and we think about the title tonight, you know? We shell it, man.
Yeah, so who usually makes the first move when you color? Who makes it more, Brian?
And again, it depends on different couples,
Yeah.
guys, and it depends on the mood, it depends on the moment. Like, I may make it more, but when she makes the move, it's aggressive. Like, you see the coloring book and you say, come color. Yeah? Sit down doing some work and just jump on you and say
You
coloring
start
time.
climb mountain.
Yeah? It's aggressive, man. Like, look at her. She looks so simple and decent and nice. And you would never know. David killed Goliath, you know? Yeah.
Listen. Yeah, but I think Brian tends to make the move first more often than I do. But, you know, as he said and all he said.
Alright, so it is. Do you believe it's wrong to talk to children about coloring at an early age? I'm asking because as an adult, my parents did not have that talk. I think now the more we continue to grow is the quicker we see young children learning quicker, and they're exposed to it on the internet a lot quicker. I've shared my story about doing my history SBA and searching for pictures of whip slaves, and encountering 50 Shades before 50 Shades existed. And it's out there. So you need to know the stage, not the age. It's
Yeah.
about the stage of development for your child that you would talk to them about coloring. Like, I don't even know my brother if he talks to his daughter about coloring. I
How
don't
old
even.
is Jaden?
Don't call her name, you can't call her name in the sentence. Yeah,
How
as
old
a
is she?
teenager,
Mhm.
young teenager, just, I would be so nervous if she ever come to me and ask me if she's watching right now. Don't come and ask her anything about coloring. Alright, moving right on.
But I think for me, and Brian and I were socialized a little different in terms of how our parents approach the whole topic of coloring.
We won't read any Murderlings comments. We won't read any.
I started the discussion about coloring with my mom when I was probably 14 years old.
I have not had the discussion with my mom.
Even up to today.
Lenny has not had the discussion with his mom.
Yeah, so I started having the discussion with my mom, and it was because of the relationship we had. So what I will say to you is, do your best to ensure that you have that kind of relationship with your child, that kind of open communication, where they will feel comfortable to come to you and talk to you about certain things. Because my mother did not know that I was being exposed to those kind of arguments in high school until I went to her. So out of curiosity, instead of asking my friends and them leading me astray, I went to my mom. And so
Big up all the St. Jago High School massive labor up near Wing Kids, St. Jago #1. It was high school that gave me my diploma in coloring before I even started to color. I learned everything about coloring from high school.
yeah.
I used to listen, I used to ask questions, and my classmates were very, very expressive.
Murderlings, him color good
No,
now.
I said we're not reading any Murderlings comments.
Call
no,
him Professor
no,
Picasso.
No, we're not reading any Murderlings comments.
Call
how
him
you both are open to this
Professor.
with
Call him
others.
Professor.
I think men attempt to want to color more. I think it's in our nature, Sarah's
Yeah,
house of
yeah,
flavor, because of how we are wound up. Even as young men growing up, when there is a build up, we will have a dream, a wet dream, to release. So I think it's a part of our nature. Testosterone, yeah. You ever hear them say in Jamaican parlance, I'll ride you? Yeah, it's just natural for us to want it more.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that, we don't want to color.
Big up the Jago people them in the building. Jago.
And at different times, women may want to color more. Brian can tell you when I was pregnant, mighty God of Daniel, I could not get enough coloring done. All with my big 9-month belly, I could not color enough. Some of the time, Brian, I have to run literally. Yeah, so for whatever reasons during my pregnancies, mighty God, I don't know how the pit them to come out look like coloring book. Because spin a roll and roll the belly. I wanted to color all day, every day. And poor Brad, I felt so sorry for him sometimes. So yeah, it's healthy and we enjoy our
people
coloring.
are saying your heritage has a lot to do with that. So guys, 190 people watching, 140 have liked. So those who not yet like, just click the X, like the video, and it will prompt more persons to go and watch the video.
My heredity, well, people always say Indians have white liver. I've heard that before. Do you agree? Don't answer that.
Don't tell me that Jaden in here watching. Jaden not watching. No, Jaden go and do some work. Okay, some school work. All right. Poor Brian Square put this. Jody, this is your second warning. One more. I'm gonna ask the moderators to remove you from the chat, Jody. All right.
Discussion about coloring with your mom, Bass. You are blessed. I learned coloring by listening to my friends at NCU. Yeah.
My friends never laugh. Them tell me everything I ask. Sometimes I'll be like, all right, don't tell me anymore.
When I was engaged, my mom gave me a full rundown on coloring. Full rundown.
Monk Street and a Punk Street.
Full rundown. I mean, what to do, what not to do, different ways to color, how to color, the whole works. My mother, even up to now, sometimes when I'm on the phone with her, Brian cringes.
Like, who is that? Your mother? I'm gone to the next room. I don't want to hear the conversation.
My mother and I. Oh, God bless her. I'm so happy to have her in my life.
Ladies and gentlemen, Beyonce is in the building. Please spend some time to pick up Queen B. Big up yourself, Beyonce. All right. So the next question is... Well, it's not even a question, it's a comment that I wanted us to chime in on. It said, I don't think there's a stigma in church, just no holistic biblical teaching about coloring. I grew up in church too, and I always knew coloring was good, but only for marriage. All right, so for that person, that was for you. Your church and your circles. For some of us, it was in the different age group circles you would talk about it, and you ask questions, and some people would go explore and come back and tell you and all of that. But from a church perspective, it was not talked about. It was a taboo topic. It wasn't, worse no Bible teaching on it. No, worse. What? Bible? You can mention Bible and coloring in the same sentence, right? So it was just shunned. It was wrong. Don't do it. If you do it, this is gonna happen. If you do it, you're going to hell. If you do it, the person is gonna get pregnant. If you do it. So we were just told not to do it, and so we shunned doing it. So it was a lot of older persons and a lot of young persons who view it as wrong. Alright guys, we're about to have an intermission, alright, so that is the person saying they don't think there's necessarily a stigma. Why you look like you were crying?
What happened?
Hold on, let me wipe it.
I'm coming, guys. I'm coming.
Alright, so Albas goes and tends to Bria Bella. Let me read some more of the comments. Never want to color, lost interest. All 1.5 years, my coloring mood still don't come back. I think that's after giving birth, right, Sashika? And again, it goes for different people. Different people have different responses. And in some cases, it's good to get medical advice and professional advice on how to help you to get the mood back. Susie Q says, no, it was a major wrong bang. Don't talk about it, though. Listen, don't mention it at all. It's not to be mentioned amongst you. I've never spoken to my mother about coloring, Charlene says. That's really nice. I wish I had someone. Yeah, I learned as the years go by. Evolution says it's also taboo in her church. And yeah, how did you feel about coloring after being married? Good. We've expressed it, we've gotten rid of the preconceived notions of how we were cultured to view it, and we are just enjoying our life together. My church told us we shouldn't even hug the opposite gender. And again, sometimes we bash the churches, but it's for a reason. There's a method behind what we consider the madness to be. They are trying to make sure that we take as much precautions as possible to not get involved in coloring. So they would go to the extremes instead of explaining to us why we shouldn't and why we should wait, versus telling us just don't do it, it's wrong. And then it piqued our curiosity, and then curiosity killed many a cat, right? Good night, Substance Vivo. Nice to have you. I went to marriage blind, says Olive, as blind as a bat. I didn't even know much, only what I used to read in those dark days. So Lenny says, I thought we went to the same church. When I was young, everyone was coloring. Again, I did say that a lot of people went and found out about coloring the wrong way and trying to get to coloring because of how it was put in the church. The church created a wall, and every young person wanted to see over that wall. Why do we make this wall? Make we see what going on. Then we could jump over the wall and see why, and then make we see what it is about this thing. So in creating that wall, it actually created a lot of mess for our young people. So this is why one of the reasons we're trying to share with people about how this whole coloring thing goes. Shade says, do you believe that married couples should color by themselves if one partner is not around out of country? Alright, when Bass comes, Shade, we will answer that one. Susie Q said, then put the living fear of God in our heart about coloring and any inquiry about it. Ask about coloring at church to who? To who? You couldn't ask about coloring to nobody. Ask? No, sir. Listen. Alright. Trying to catch up. So Shade, remind me the question when Bass comes back, alright? My mother is an old-time mother. Even though we can't have a conversation about coloring, she pretends not to hear or just say, have them come with me here and laugh. If I'm watching a show and my mother is over the house and people start to even make attempts at romance, go and change the channel, I cringe, and I'll be like, oh my god. If they even kiss and my mother is near me, oh Lord, I'm so nervous. No sir, listen. Coloring appearance, nope. This is very inspiring. I'm gonna color after this live. I'm not reading any more murderlings. Help me.
What were you talking about?
There's a question that we want us to answer.
Okay.
Merlene, what's up, girl? Merlene is asking about coloring after kids and how did you get your groove back. We spoke about it earlier, and Merlene, you missed it. I don't know
Spencer's vlog. Hey.
Coloring after kids, if you want to go over it from Merlene, I don't know.
All right. Coloring after kids changed in terms of the whole dynamic, in terms of how spontaneous we were. That changed because obviously the kids are now in the picture, but we also had to be very deliberate about the times that we colored. Sometimes we had to plan, sometimes we had to teeth a piece, that kind of thing. So it changed the whole dynamic in terms of how often we were able to. Sometimes because we were just tired and just laying beside each other sufficed for the moment.
And though physically for some women, they just lose the drive after childbirth.
That's true, because especially when I was breastfeeding exclusively.
Yeah, you used to just because you need to.
Yeah,
you need to
I did not.
husband.
Yeah, my drive. I lost a lot of my drive when I breastfed exclusively. And so that was something I had to mentally work on it.
And I never pressure, straight up,
No.
I never pressure.
No.
I do understand, again, for those who've not listened to any of our videos before, 90% of my friends are females, so I sort of learned a lot about the mindset and the physiology of women by talking, by asking questions. And I know that I couldn't pressure her for coloring at that time. You know, as a mother, I put my needs aside to tend to her and the baby. So, I mean, I know a lot of, well, not a lot, but some persons,
My
it's
bro is
pressure.
Online, Reynard.
It's pressure.
That's Substance.
Oh, really?
Big up, Reynard. That's my brother.
Some of the pressure of men pressuring even after to pregnancy and when they're in no mood. And truth be told, a lot of our men need more understanding about what happens. Understanding. Knowledge is power. When you watch G.I. Joe when we young, knowledge is power. Go Joe! You know, it's power. Knowing that a woman, what she's going through in her mind, in her body, and then you will go through something in your body where you can't control.
Yeah, and for me, after having children, because my body changed so much initially, that was also something I was very conscious of. And so that affected how confident I was in coloring. You know, I was heavier, I looked different, and I was very conscious of it. Nothing that Brian did. He always assured me and reassured me, and reminded me that I'm beautiful, the whole works. But for me, in my mind and in my head, I just did not like what I saw sometimes, and so that affected my confidence in coloring.
Don't read any comments. Don't read any comments. All right. Are there any wrong ways to color for Christians? We believe that coloring through the back door is wrong. Yeah. And then everything else goes for you as a couple. What you like, what you dislike, what you guys agree to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's wrong for a woman to force a man to do something he doesn't want to do, and for a man to force a woman to do something she doesn't want, even though a lot of people will say the Bible says her body is now mine and my body is now hers, it doesn't mean that you should rape your body.
Yeah.
Or force your body.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's a question they want us to answer, but let me answer Gracie and Ben first. As a man, what are the things that affect your ability to color effectively? We've spoken about, and this is teaching for men and for women, we've spoken about anxiety. The more anxious a man is, he may color too quickly. If he's too excited, he may color too quickly. If he's having...
He may finish coloring too quickly.
Yeah, he may finish coloring too quickly. If he's having psychological damage or physical damage to his body, he may need professional help. If his mind is not there, a lot of times women say that men, it's just physical for men, it's not emotional. That's not true.
Mm-hmm.
We may not talk about it as much, we may not emphasize it as much, but if our minds aren't there, then we cannot color as effective as we should too. And I've made mention of it before already about me coloring in the early stages and wanting to be a Jamaican man, when you talk about it, no long distance type of relationship. And coloring, and I'm thinking about everything else except the actual coloring, because I wanted to ensure
to hold out,
that I held out. And 20-30 minutes I color, and I'm not enjoying the coloring, but I'm coloring. And I think that's important that we get our minds involved. It's about pleasuring the other person and not about focusing on certain things that we've been cultured. Yeah? Alright, so the question that everybody wants to know, well, not everybody, but Michelle, I think it was, I remember, asked the question about coloring apart when you
Do
are
you
in
believe
two
that
different
married
parts of the world.
couples should color by themselves if
Shade.
one partner is not around or out of the country, etc.?
I think, let me talk before that. I think that depends on the couple. That depends on the couple. If you guys want to call each other on the phone,
Color on the phone.
or that's just my view. It's up to you if that's what you want, because that can save you from getting into trouble. Yeah, especially for our men more than our women, because even though men are emotional as well, it's more on the emotional side for women, because again, hormones, men is more testosterone, physically driven, women estrogen and progesterone, and a man may naturally just have a build up. If he's away for 6 months and he have a build up, or problems, he might look the wrong place to release it. So if you need to call her or if you need to take a plane and come down and call at the airport and go back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it really depends on the couple. For me, I can speak from the experience of being away from Brian for those 3 years, especially because I had a baby in the picture. Coloring was not the first thing on my mind. Not saying I didn't want to color, but it was not at the forefront of my mind. But I do believe that if couples want to color over the phone or however they want to keep each other excited and occupied, I think it's up to them. And I think we need to get to that place where on the outside, we don't stay on the outside and try to dictate how people color, and how they do their thing. I think it's up to the couple, and they can do whatever it is that you want to do, right? Whatever they agree on.
Lenny's killing people in the comments. Alright, let's not pay any mind, guys. I suffered from morning sickness throughout my pregnancy, so coloring was very low. And yes, breastfeeding does take a lot from you. Who do you think should take charge when coloring? Whoever wants to take charge. The two are now one. Your body's her body and her body's your body. Color together. Who wants to color? Yeah.
Let me tell you, there's something very hilarious, and I realized that we're not the only one. I heard somebody on TikTok did a video about it. Like, we would say, but I took charge last time, your turn. Or you took charge last time, so my turn. So I don't think...
Lenny killed me, man. Go on, sure.
So I don't think there is any set person who is... What is Lenny saying? I don't think
that's why we borrow our phones, because we color on the phone.
You're lucky. I don't think there is any set person who should do it. I mean, you just go with the flow and do what you want to do.
Speak about coloring outside for first timers. For me, I understand that question to mean about exploring the different ways you color. I believe keep it safe, play it safe until you know what works for you. You know, so don't rush to become an expert waving, doing calligraphy. When you just start learning penmanship, yeah, you just start learning to do circle and stick down and B is this and that, and you want to go start the calligraphy and have some. No, take your time. Take your time.
Take your time. Somebody say, me alone never color on their own. No, it's not you alone. I've never colored on my own.
On your own either. Again, it depends on the couple.
That's why we said it depends on the couple. We did not say that to mean that we color on our own. We're just saying it depends on the couple. I've never colored on my own.
Virtual art
and
it's a sip and paint, right?
Yeah, I've never colored on my own, and if I decide to, I mean, I don't like me come on YouTube and tell you no, right? But we're just saying that it depends on the couple, and they do what it is that they want to do.
Right. So some questions, guys, we're gonna save for when we start doing the private Zoom sessions.
Yeah. Bass, how do you deal with Brian having 90% of his friends being women?
Whoa! Problems we don't want to start. No, it's who asked that.
Yakana. Alright, so initially, and I'll be very honest with you, when I just met him, it was something to get used to. Because I've never seen one man with so much woman friend. I kid you not. At work, Brian was friends with all the ladies. Outside of work, at church, a lot of women friends. But the more I got to know him, the more I got to especially know his heart, I knew where his heart was. And I also knew that Brian would not entertain friends who would disrespect his relationship or his marriage. Brian will say goodbye, right? Goodbye to you. And what I've found over the years is that Brian really knows how to choose his friends, because I've never had any issues with his friends where that was concerned. And it took a little getting used to on my part, and a lot of misunderstandings on my part before I really got to understand him and him and his heart. But when I got to that place where I knew his heart, I didn't just know Brian, but I knew Brian and Brian's heart. I understood where his heart was, and so I did not have anything to worry about. I have always said to people, in all the almost 12 years of me and Brian being together, I've never had any woman problem. Thanks be to God. Never. And I am so grateful. I'm so grateful. Oh, I'm deafing you guys. I'm sorry. I'm so grateful. I've never had any woman problem with all the female friends he's had, because Brian knows how to set boundaries, and I have full confidence in him. So Bubbles has never had to come out and crap up nobody or joke nobody in them yay, because Brian knows how to handle himself, and I'm grateful to God for that.
And like the video, and the truth is, guys, it's all about control, setting boundaries, and build. A lot of times we hear people say it just happen. Like it doesn't book you to and fall
and
in.
Job.
Perfectly fall into, just pick the lock. Oops. Perfectly. No. I have somebody, I'm telling him, I have a brethren who he spoke about the point when he was right about to color and he just stopped and he didn't bother. Everything was set up for it. You can stop, and if you establish who you are and establish the lines of what your relationships are with everybody, males and females, and say, hey, we're gonna be good friends, we can talk, we can reason, but one woman.
Yeah. And that has really just
Lenny, come Jesus, wait, man.
Brian's brother is lighting up the chat.
228 of you are watching, 186 have liked the chat. Just click the X, like the chat, and more persons will be able to join. We're going to be closing out shortly, in about 5 minutes or so. Mm-hmm. So any more questions that are coming in? Yeah, he got a one in art, and I've come on and said that my brother is a very good artist. Susie Q is also a good artist. He runs in the family, but it stopped short of me. So I am now coloring in a different way. He didn't teach me. All right.
And him can color.
All right, so I don't really see any more questions. So I guess that's it for tonight, and you won't see us again in this way until
Yeah.
next week, Sunday, live in lockdown, our final episode.
Mm-hmm.
Feel free to message us on Instagram, Facebook, well, Instagram or email stuff from the cups at gmail.com and tell us what are some of the things you'd like us to talk about on our grand finale. But a little feeling is that the Prime Minister may give us some more of these things with the numbers
Yeah.
continuing to rise. But let's watch and see.
And if that's the case, we'll consider extending the live in lockdown, because I think it has really given us a chance to interact with you more, and it's a little easier to just go live, especially at this time of evening and stuff. Yes, baby.
Peaceful Pacific, that one I think needs professional help.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't answer it on a
Here.
Zoom.
Mhm.
Yeah. On a
On a live,
YouTube,
yeah, that definitely needs professional help, because it's not only something that physically happens.
come around, go behind.
It's also something that affects you mentally and emotionally, and so that definitely needs. And here is a product of one of our coloring sessions. Yes, Bella. You want what? Your chips? Which chips? Say hi, Uncle Lenny.
My bag.
Your bag.
Somebody, yeah.
My shit.
So that one is.
Somebody had an important question.
Yeah, that one is the one that we say, it shouldn't have
Yeah.
happened that way.
Hi
and we
guys,
would-
you can love you want banana. Yeah, raise the bed.
So say the life. Yo.
Yeah. All right, tell them bye and go back.
Say
and go to
bye.
YouTube.
Say bye.
Say
And
like, share, and subscribe.
A subscribe.
Yeah, and like.
Down.
say stuff from the cows.
Get off guys.
Yes, go Bria, go
Go
Bella,
Belle, go Bass, go Brian. Stop from the cows. Stop from the cows.
All right, high five.
Mwah,
Good
good
job.
job. All right, go. We soon come, okay?
All right, so Kalipo was asking, how do you manage to color if the other person doesn't want to color, or what do you do about that? That again may need professional advice. It may need, firstly, it needs communication. Why you don't want to color,
You mean at all,
Right.
or maybe not in the mood at the moment?
I don't know, but it needs communication. Why you don't want to color?
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe you've done something wrong. Maybe you're not doing something. That's a whole lot that needs to unpack. Somebody's asking about the Zoom. So guys, we're thinking about doing some courses as it relates to.
Sessions.
We won't call it coaching or we believe in just doing something in a more personal way where we can be more open without the boundaries, and also share our advice to couples in a real way, and we may invite other persons to come on in professional spaces. So it's something we're thinking about. It would cost a little, not a lot, just to facilitate, of course, the light bill. But we'll let you know.
We'll let you know, because we would be much more open on like a Zoom versus a YouTube platform, because we have to still be careful of some of the words that we use, which is why we use color and all those different technologies. But definitely we're thinking about it, and we will let you guys know. Let me see.
Nope, that's it. I don't see anymore. Susie Q said live classes. Yes, Susie Q. I
Yes,
won't use that name
definitely.
though, because we've been on some of those live classes.
Yeah,
on
so
a-
we'll have a different name for it, but it's something that we're working on, and we'll let you guys know very soon. And we're always so very happy to be candid and just very open with you, because as we've said many times before, a lot of these discussions aren't had, especially in church growing up. And we believe that it is important, and there is power in speaking and being open about certain things.
and doing it the right way.
Yeah, and doing it the right way, so that persons understand and know that they're not alone in whatever it is that's going through their minds, and the situation is not unique to them. And just simply, when you share, I think you learn more, and when you share, you are able to.
So our lecturers at heart.
Well, that's true. We're lecturers at heart. And so we see it as very important to share, so that you can learn and we can learn. We all can learn from each other, no matter how many years you've been married, no matter how many years you've been single. I think there's always something to learn in the mix, and so we're always so happy to share.
All right, so that's it for tonight. Let's pick up some YouTubers. J&J Sharing TV. I think Calico Design may be a YouTube channel. I'm not sure. I don't see any more right now. I was just calling the ones that I saw nearby. Guys, go follow Jomo
Toya,
Oscar.
hi.
Jomo is actually Mumzels
Mumzels
on
Gourmet
Instagram.
Pastries.
Or go to Gourmet Providers. Go check them out. Big ups to who else? I don't see anybody else right now. They were way up earlier.
Okay.
Some other YouTubers.
So all
Fine
other
Finley
YouTubers,
5.
yeah.
There's this we've started following them recently. They messaged us on Instagram, if you can find it.
Where's my own?
That couple that I was telling you about, we were watching them. New couple, they have 5 children, they sing a lot.
You mean me and my host? Yeah. They were on the other nights.
Yeah.
Big ups to
Big
you
up me
guys.
and my host, we
Yeah.
suggest them.
We like them.
Then he says, more to come on how to color.
Yes. Alright guys, so big ups to you. Thank you so very much for watching. Remember, if you're watching and you're not yet a subscriber, hit that subscribe button, turn on your post notification, guys.
Oh,
that bell.
sorry. Quickly, let's just do these quickly. There were some more questions. I get the impression that coloring doesn't last long. Coloring doesn't have to last long. There are moments, there are times when you need to color quickly and go on with the business of life, and there are times when you will spend your time to color on one page and you take so it depends.
Time and place.
There you go.
And
That was the last one.
yeah, time and place, and really how you feeling. Yeah, really how you feeling. So there's no set way. Yeah, there's no set way to color. Time and place and how you're feeling. All right.
So big ups. Chantel says stay safe, wash your hands, sanitize, keep your social distance, and all of that. So guys, that's it for tonight.
Big ups. We love you. Mwah. And we'll see you soon. God bless you.
Yup.